on, girl, let's scream.
I am a god.
No, please don't kill me, Mr. Ghostface. I want to be in the sequel. This is the part where you run.
Come on, scream.
Hello, and welcome to Let's Scream, a podcast where we dive into our favorite horror movies, but this month is TV terrors. I'm Parker.
And I'm Stevie.
And today is a double feature. We are first looking at That's So Raven, Season 2, Episode 2, Don't Have a Cow, and then The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, Season 1, Episode 19, The Ghost of Sweet 613.
Join us as we journey to the Chill Grill and then later the Tipton and learn all about the horrors of Disney Channel.
Are you ready to scream, girl?
Girl, let's
scream. Hi, I'm Hilary Duff, and you're watching Disney Channel. Okay, so we're continuing our TV terrors month. This will be the final episode of February,
Yes.
so we decided to do a double feature since these are going to be Disney Channel episodes, which
So
are
they're
only about like
20 minutes
long.
each.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, I have to watch these real quick. I watched them before we recorded them.
Right, this was like the easiest podcast we've ever done. Like,
Yeah.
It was so chill taking notes for
And I was
this.
like, oh, good to revisit these shows.
Oh, they're great. I loved Disney Channel growing up.
Yeah, what were your favorite shows?
Definitely these two. Definitely Raven.
Yeah,
That's
that's
so
Raven was
Raven.
always my favorite.
I loved Zack and Cody too.
Yes.
And Hannah Montana.
Yeah, Montana. I liked Wizards of Waverly Place.
That one was cute, but I was actually kind of starting to
Not watching.
watch
Yeah,
Disney
no, I mean
Channel.
that was kind of the end of our time watching it.
Yeah. So I only watched I really only watched the first maybe 4 or 5 episodes of Wizards of Waverly
Oh
Place.
damn.
But I watched the movie
Okay.
of it. I did watch the
Okay.
movie, which I loved.
Yeah, the movie's
That's
good.
a good Disney Channel decom.
Did you like I always liked Disney had a chokehold on horror movie decoms.
So many great Halloween ones.
Yeah, Twitches.
Yeah,
both of them.
Twitches.
Twitches 1 and 2.
Halloween Town. Do you remember Don't Look Under the Bed?
That one was so scary.
That was horrifying.
That
as a
one
child.
it got pulled because it got so many complaints.
scary.
It
Yeah.
was so scary.
Did you ever watch Are You Afraid of the Dark or Goosebumps?
I liked Goosebumps. Afraid of the Dark, I know I watched it as a kid, but it's one of those shows that I don't really remember too
Sure,
much. But
yeah.
I would probably remember some bits from it.
Yeah,
But I remember Goosebumps a lot more. Goosebumps I watched a lot, and I loved Goosebumps.
me too. I think that was an early intro to
Let's
horror.
do
for
Goosebumps
me.
episodes.
Yeah, we should.
Because there's
Absolutely.
great ones. The masked one
That's my favorite.
That's the scariest one.
Yeah.
That one's actually genuinely terrifying.
That is so my favorite. I also there one that sticks out in my memory. I actually don't remember if this was Goosebumps or Are You Afraid of the Dark, but it was a demon that was a feng shui demon, and if you didn't feng shui your room properly, it would come out and get you.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, I think they were a Chinese family that recently moved to the States or something.
Oh, that
At
might have
least
been
I
Don't Be Afraid of the
think.
Dark.
It might have been, yeah, but it was cunty. I remember that the demon was kind of a geisha statue, creepy thing.
Ew.
Yeah, it was good.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait.
maybe we can do that one.
Figure that one out.
There's also an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark called The Return of the Pumpkinheads or something. That one's really good.
I like the one. There's a werewolf one, too,
Mm-hmm.
in Goosebumps. That one's a really good one.
What I also love about the Disney Channel spooky season is that they'd always do a Halloween episode
Yes.
for their show.
Yes.
So
But these two stick out to me the most.
I think so too.
Because I'm sure Hannah Montana had one, but I don't remember it.
Yes.
I'm also the Lizzie McGuire one. That's a great one.
See, I was just about to bring that one up because when we were narrowing down which ones to do for this pod, I almost said the Lizzie McGuire, Dia de los Muertos.
That one's so good.
When they prank
next time
Kate.
we do TV terrors, we can do that.
Yeah,
one.
yeah. I love that one too. But yeah, those were my favorite ones for sure. These ones we're going to talk about today. That's So Raven, we'll go ahead and start with.
Yeah.
That to me was the best Disney Channel show.
Yeah.
It had the best cast, it had the best joke writing overall. I loved Raven.
Raven's she's so good.
She's so funny. I loved how fashionable and just fun her personality was.
Yeah.
And her family were the cutest, and her friends were so funny. Yeah, for me, that was it.
She was amazing. I love her.
It's kind of weird nowadays.
She's a little kooky now, but
She's from every continent.
in Africa.
Africa.
I am from every continent in Africa except for one, and I'm from every continent in Europe except for one.
Girl, I didn't go that deep.
Also, her last name is not Raven Simone. She is Raven Simonier.
But she never pronounces it that way.
She just thought it was like too hard to like correct people, and Simone was easier. But that kind of blew my mind because she was a guest judge on Drag Race one time, and RuPaul introduced her as Raven Simonier. And that like literally rewired my brain. I was like, wait, have we been saying it wrong this whole time?
And she was like, yeah.
Yeah, she was like, that's how you pronounce it. Interesting.
Like, thank you, Ru.
Yeah.
Raven Simonier.
She is also gay as fuck.
Yeah.
She is a big old les.
Always has been. Because Annalisa Vanderpool, who plays Chelsea on That's So Raven, has confirmed, like, she was like, oh, when I got cast and, like, I met her, like, it was just kind of, like, known.
Yeah.
She's like, people just kind of knew. And she was like, but I think that was kind of, like, this is the horrible thing. She was like, because of the time, Disney Channel didn't really want to promote her too much. Because she was gay.
And she was, like, one of the few black actresses,
Yeah.
too, on Disney Channel.
Yeah.
She was the OG.
And she could do everything. She could sing. She could dance.
So talented.
And they just never really wanted to launch her as, like, a pop star.
Yeah, which was ridiculous because she was clearly the best one.
Yeah.
I did love Hannah Montana, too.
Yeah. I mean, Hannah Montana and Miley are... It's great.
Miley's, I think, probably the best pop star to come out of
Oh, well,
Disney
absolutely.
by
That's
far.
hands down. Not even a question.
But there's been so many pop stars that come from Disney,
Yeah.
though. It's kind of
We
crazy.
got Demi. We got Selena. Olivia Rodrigo.
Was she on Disney
She was a
Channel,
Disney
too?
kid.
Was Sabrina on?
Sabrina was a Disney kid.
I swear, it's like every pop girly nowadays, they were
You
on
know
Disney
who else
Channel.
is? Our future president, Bridget Mendler.
Bridget fucking Mendler. I know.
Future president, everyone.
Mendler 2020. Oh, God. When's the next election?
8.
It can't come sooner.
It'd be the first time every state votes blue.
Right? America would be like, got some blue
Going
on.
Got some blue going on.
Okay, but are you ready to jump into the That's a Raven episode, Diva?
Yeah, girl.
Come on, girl.
Let's
scream.
scream. So we open and we see that Eddie has gotten an invitation to Alana's party.
Played by Adrienne Baron from the Cheetah Girls.
Cheetah Girls. We have 2 Cheetah Girls in the room.
2 Cheetah Girls. Adrienne was my favorite Cheetah Girl, besides Raven, of course.
They were the 2 best.
Adrienne can fucking sing. She had that raspy, soulful voice and could
She was
do all
great.
those crazy riffs. I loved her.
And then the other 2 were there. It's
yeah.
like they were kind of like the Black Eyed Peas. You know, where it's
Right.
like you have Will.i.am and Fergie and the others.
And then the other 2.
The other 2.
Right. And Alana is the mean girl.
If you don't know the lore, she is the mean girl, and she has her
her cronies.
her cronies, and it's
Muffy.
Muffy.
Who is the one who talks for Alana.
Yeah. And then there's also...
Can't remember her name, but she's like the definitely butch lesbian coded girl.
I think they call her Huge or something.
Huge or something. Wait, let me look this up just to make sure we're getting it right.
Yeah, I need to know the girl's name. Because it's also just like oh, that's her name.
Is it Loca?
Loca, that's what it is.
Loca.
Because she's crazy.
Right, because she's crazy. And the only reason why Eddie got an invitation is because Loca has a big crush on
And that's
him.
like a consistent joke throughout the show. It's amazing. I kind of love it.
Even though she's clearly lesbian coded. And every time she sees him, she like punches him on the arm to like greet him.
It's like, I love it.
And he low-key is scared of
That's
her.
why this show is so great. Is like, even all the side characters were also great.
Yeah.
Like, people who were not in every episode. Because there were also, like, iconic teachers. Like,
Oh my god,
remember
the Spanish teacher was my favorite.
Where she'd be like nodding
Nod
yes.
her head
and she'd go,
yes.
No.
No. Yeah. She was my favorite. And then also that one who was like, Principal Perkins, or whatever the fuck his name was. He was always spinning on them with his list.
Yep.
And then, yeah, there was like Stinky Steve, I think. Do you remember Stinky
Yes.
Steve? Do you remember, okay, The Boys in Motion? We are the boys in motion.
They are one of
We
the
give
greatest
you
boy
our
groups of all
devotion.
time.
And when Raven...
And they had one song.
And Raven got up in drag as the boys in motion.
Yes,
Do you
to fool
remember
the
that?
school.
Honestly, Raven was hot at like boy drag.
She knew. She knew
She
what she was
knew.
doing. She was living a little too much.
She was having a little too much fun. But yeah, such fun characters in this show. But unfortunately, Raven did not get invited because Alana famously hates her ever since the 4th grade. And so by association, she also hates Chelsea too.
Yeah.
Who, as we forgot to mention, it's Orlando Brown as Eddie. It's Annalise Vanderpool as Chelsea too. They're great. Yeah. They're so fun.
They're amazing.
And then we get the iconic theme song, which is this maybe the best theme song of Disney Channel?
Yeah.
I mean, Kim Possible was cunty too.
Kim Possible is a great one.
That's such a good one. But I mean, this, you could gaze into the future.
You might think
Life would be a breeze. Life is a breeze. Trouble from a distance. Yeah. But it's not that easy. Oh, no.
It's like produced so
It's
well.
so good.
It's so good.
Vibe. Yeah, if you haven't revisited these Disney Channel shows recently,
Raven
holds up.
It holds
Raven
up.
holds the fuck up.
The comedy's really good at it.
Yes. So they go to the Chill Grill, which is famously Raven's dad, Victor. That's the grill
restaurant
that he owns. Yeah. And we learn that Alana has rented out that restaurant for her party, probably just to spite Raven.
Yeah.
And Victor is like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought everyone was invited, but I mean, I can cancel if you want me to. And Raven's like, no, it's fine, Dad. And he goes, good, because I already cashed the check. And he walks away. And Chelsea realizes that their hamburgers got switched
Because
up.
Chelsea is a vegetarian.
She ordered the veggie, but she didn't get the veggie.
And she was like, ooh, this is really good.
This burger is like the best veggie burger I've ever had. And then she realizes
it's meat.
It's actual meat.
And then this is really good because Raven's like, oh my gosh, I almost ate something
healthy. Oh. Raven's so funny. And so Chelsea is obviously freaking out. At Raven's house later, Victor is all dressed up like a mad scientist because he's excited for Halloween.
Yes.
Because that's the reason why we're doing this episode, by the way. This is a Halloween episode.
Yeah.
So it's spooky.
Yeah.
Let's scream. And he's going to go out with Corey and trick or treat. And Corey comes down the stairs, Raven's little brother. He's got the
muscle man. He's like a muscle
outfit.
man.
Yeah.
For Halloween.
I love the sound effects on Disney Channel, like the audience being like, woo! Woo! That's the other thing is.
I also love the we'll get one later where they're like, oh.
I love using the one whenever on this podcast we have guests
The
appearances. The wow, nicely done. It's called wow, nicely done. They have like little names. And so Victor is convinced that they're going to go trick-or-treating together like they always do. But Corey has to let him down easy and let him know. He's like, Dad, we have to have the talk. And he's like, Tanya! Calls the mom. And he's like, no, Dad, not that talk.
Not that talk.
But I just want to go trick-or-treating by myself with my friends. I don't really want my mom and dad to come with me this year. Like, I'm old now.
Yeah.
And which, makes Victor bummed out.
But
and
he gets it.
He gets it. And then William shows up, which is
I
Corey's
love
like
this
nerdy
kid.
little kid. Yeah,
He's
little
so
friend.
funny.
And he's dressed up like a remote control, which he says he's actually wired to work. But it keeps glitching
he almost knocks out the entire power of the house.
Of the whole neighborhood apparently, which
Yeah.
we'll get to later. But yeah, he's a funny little kid. He's got like a little lisp and
yeah, but he's like a super genius.
yeah, their subplots on Raven episodes were
always
wild.
great. Always great too.
William was always getting him involved in shenanigans, and then wasn't it?
We get David Henry eventually.
David Henry
Because they start a band.
Can you feel it?
They only played that
Can
song.
you feel the love? Nothing feels better than feeling the love.
Do you remember the episode where they like throw a house party?
Yeah.
And there's the knockoff version of Crazy in Love by
That's
Beyonce.
Raven's song. Yeah. And she has to shake her ass when she hears it. That's my jam! And she breaks the lamp.
Yeah.
That was a great episode.
And it's like every time I heard that I was like, that's Crazy in Love by Beyonce.
Oh yeah, it was like a knock. It had like the horns at the beginning.
Yep.
Yeah. And Chelsea and Raven are in Raven's room. And Chelsea is reading her journal dramatically. She's like, Cow, cow, where art thou, cow? Thou art in my stomach now, cow. Or some shit like
How?
that. Oh, like,
How did you become my chow?
and they go through Raven's psychic grandma's trunk. And they find a spell book. And they find a wishing spell.
Which...
Never gets brought up again. Any other episode. Yeah, That's So Raven lore, like the psychic kind of lore is so loose. Like I remembered like all the kinds of crazy weird ways they would do that. Remember the episode where like there was a school for psychics and there was that kid his power was that he could bend spoons with his mind.
Yeah.
Weird, right?
Yeah.
They were doing everything.
And there was the bitch who was like telekinetic.
It was very like Sky High. Did you ever watch Sky High? Okay. Next week, we're going to be reviewing Sky High. No, have you seriously never seen Sky High? Okay, we need to watch it. Like, that's essential viewing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm not playing with you.
Wig.
I'm not fucking around with you.
I want my eggs cracked.
Meaning I want
a child.
I want my name dropped. Meaning I want to be married. Meaning I want to watch Sky High. So... they post up in the kitchen and they're making the potion in a cauldron. Mm-hmm. One of the ingredients, this is funny, was a strand of hair from a young maiden. And Raven goes, don't look at me, I just got my hair did. And then she's like, Chelsea, look over there. And she just like snatches
a hair
one out
of
of
her.
Chelsea's head. They finish the potion and then they wish they're invited to Alana's party. And they must first say the magic words. And Chelsea goes, oh, please and thank you. What's the magic word? I thought that was funny. But no, that's like some hocus pocus kind of shit.
Yeah.
And so they say the magic spell. And then...
Alana calls. And she's in like a trance. And
Yeah.
she's like, I don't know why I'm calling you, but I wanted to invite you and Chelsea to my party. And then Muffy snatches the phone. And she's like, if Alana wasn't in a weird state like trance, she would probably do this. And then she just hangs
up the phone. I like Muffy.
Yeah, she's always funny.
She
becomes like the main villain. Like
Really?
main girl, because eventually like Alana leaves. Well, Alana gets sent away and they bring in a new girl.
I remember that vaguely, yeah.
Because they're like, Alana got sent to juvie.
She had like anger management issues or something.
Or, like she got sent to juvie or something like that. And they're like, oh yes, but this is the new girl. She got kicked out of juvie.
I remember her.
It's like that.
Okay, yeah, I totally remember that. So, yeah, they get invited to this party now, and they also wish to be the most popular girls at the party and have the best costumes.
Yes.
They say, we want all eyes on us. But as they're, like, excited, Chelsea's cow button falls off of her jacket and into the potion. Because I forgot to mention, she had this, like, cow button on when she was reading her sonnet about the cow earlier.
Yeah, about, like, not eating cows.
And up in Raven's room, they're getting ready. And they realize that they've grown cow ears
and tails.
It's so great. I remember, like, when I was a kid, this was the funniest fucking shit in the entire world. And you know what? It's still fucking funny now.
Because they were good prosthetics.
And they, like, moved on their own. They had, like, I'm assuming some kind of puppetry going on.
It was great.
It was really good. And Eddie arrives to pick them up.
And he's a wizard.
He's a wizard. And he yells up to them. This is so funny. He goes, all right, now move your tails.
They're both like,
and then they go downstairs.
Like there has to be a reverse spell or something.
Right. So they go downstairs with their ears covered. And they tell him that they'll just meet him at the party. And he's like, oh, the spell book. This would be a really good prop to go with my wizard costume. Can I have it? And Raven's trying to get him out. So she's like, sure, just go.
Yeah.
Just go. And then she goes, get up. Move on.
She
moves. She moves. So he leaves, and then they discover at the bottom of this cauldron that cow button.
And so that turned them into cows.
Cows, somehow, I guess. And Raven goes, girl, why couldn't you have been wearing a Halle Berry button? That was so fucking funny. And so they just keep mooing, and they decide to go to the party, and they're just going to get the spellbook back, because, like, it's a Halloween party.
Nobody's going to know.
We'll just be cows.
Ginger snaps.
Very ginger snaps, yes. With the scene at the Halloween party.
Yes.
She's turning into a werewolf.
Do you think the directors of this show watched the Ginger Snaps and were like, yes,
I mean,
But
I think
cows.
everyone should watch Ginger Snaps. So William and Corey return home from trick-or-treating, and because of William's remote malfunctioning the whole neighborhood, they weren't able to snag any candy. But Tanya and Victor, who, by the way, we didn't mention Tanya's costume.
She is
She's like Bride of Frankenstein.
she's like Igor.
But like she
Who's,
has
like,
the Bride of
works for the
Frankenstein hair.
Like, so, like, she's the one that works for the mad scientist.
And
So
she's going,
like,
Master. Tanya, it was probably my favorite character from That's
She's
So
amazing.
Raven.
And
her
she's-
storylines were so funny.
And then she leaves.
She got written out.
Well, I think she, like, talked about it. Her mom had gotten sick, and so she had to, like, leave the
so
show.
sad.
But they were like, if we continue, like, you're more than welcome to come back. And, like,
Raven's parents were hands down my favorite parents on Disney Channel.
oh, they were amazing.
They were funny.
They were so funny.
Tanya's storylines were so funny.
My other one, we'll get into it because I do love Zack and Cody's mom.
And Carrie.
Carrie's amazing.
We will get into Carrie.
Single mom.
So Tanya and Victor, however, they went out trick-or-treating by themselves as adults, and they got a full-ass bag of candy. And Corey goes to take the candy, and she's like, that's your father's candy, so you're gonna have to ask permission now.
Yeah.
And he's like, can I, Dad? And Victor's like, well, sure, since you guys had such a bad night out there. And Corey starts eating the candy, and he's like, it just doesn't taste as sweet. And Tanya's like, is it because you went without your father to get it? And he goes, no, I'm looking on the wrapper. It's sugar-free. That's why. But he does admit that he missed going out with his dad, and he apologizes, and they decide to go out together and get more candy.
Yeah.
That was cute.
It's cute. Cute little plot line.
Chelsea and Raven shows up at the party, and they're like, hey, ho, hey, ho.
It's so good.
And then they turn around, and they look at each other, and they realize that they've grown cow noses.
Yep.
Full-ass, like, cow face going on. Chelsea starts eating someone's straw hat. And she's like, Raven's like, Chelsea, what are you doing? And she's like, sorry, Ray, that hat just tasted so good. Can't help it. Raven goes to get some punch, but she's grown hooves, so she's knocking all the cups over. Chelsea, like, starts drinking out of the punch bowl, and she has a really long tongue. That was so weird looking. And Eddie shows up, and he's got the book, and they're trying to look for the spell, but Chelsea can't help herself from eating the pages of the book.
It's chaotic.
Very chaotic. And then the costume contest results are announced.
And Alana is second.
Yeah.
And she's pissed. She's like...
Well, her costume was ugh, first of all. Like, Alana, I know that they always say Alana was going to win because it was her party, but did you see what Alana was wearing?
There were some better costumes. I
saw some better costumes.
She starts swearing in Spanish. I don't know what she said in Spanish. I can speak Spanish.
Buffy was like, Alana is very upset in Spanish.
In Spanish.
And they look at who was the winner. It was Raven and Chelsea. Because it cuts to them. We see they've completely just turned into cows.
They're just full cows.
But they've got like a little Chelsea wig and a little Raven wig on.
Yeah. It's really funny.
And
they're like, well, we got what we wished for. All eyes on us.
Might as well milk it. But then it zooms in on Cow Raven's eye, and it does the vision thing.
And it was all a vision.
Yep. This is they're sitting at the chill grill before they ate the wrong burgers. So Raven is like, "Oh, Chelsea, don't eat that," and she's able to like switch the burgers out.
Yeah.
And she's like, "I just had a vision of what would happen, and it was terrible if you ate that burger." And Chelsea goes, "Oh, I'm sure it wasn't that bad, Ray. I mean, come on, don't have a cow."
But we knew what was going to happen. And then we get a final scene from this episode where Tanya and Victor. Thank you. I forgot his name for a second. It's been a while since I've watched this show.
I thought you watched it today.
Well, I forgot his name. This was my first time watching it in a while. She says, the children have gone to bed, and it's late. It's quiet in the house.
Mister, the children are sleeping. She's camping it up. You think they're gonna, like, fuck.
But they decide to eat candy.
Candy! It's cute. The end.
And that's the end of the episode.
That's so Raven. The credits music. All right, that was Raven. Are you ready to move on to Zack and Cody?
Let's move on to Zack and Cody, the Tipton.
Now, one thing I noticed about these two, just watching them back to back, my little observation, was that the comedy writing is great in both shows.
Yeah.
There's great comedy writing. The jokes are stronger in Raven, but there's fewer of them. There's just more jokes that are just, good jokes.
Yeah.
Not like crazy, gonna make me cackle. But just overall, more jokes sprinkled in. Zack and Cody.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just thought that was fun to take note of how the two different shows approach to the writing. So the icon, Miss Carrie, comes home.
Yes.
Now, Zack and Cody's mom, she's a very special place in my heart.
I love her.
Because she's cunty.
She got that pink hairdo.
Yeah, that little pixie. She does look like Pink. She was giving a little Pink vibe. She got that pixie cut. She's always looking snatched, body tee in her gowns.
Or she's wearing like jeans and like.
But it's cunt.
And she's kind of like a rocker, but like cool rocker. She's
cool
like
mom.
literally a cool mom.
She is a fucking cool mom. She has all her quips. She comes home to this huge mess. There's like pool noodles.
And she is a better human being than I am, because if I came home to that mess, I'd be screaming.
Instead, she's like, "Thank Cody, clean this shit up." Basically.
Yeah.
She's like, "Boys,
clean this up.
Clean this shit up." She's always at like a 1.
Yeah,
and I appreciate it, bitch.
There was a living room when I got here. When I left, I'd like it back, please.
Yeah.
And then she just walks into the bathroom.
Then Zack pops out of the mess and scares Cody. Because Cody's sensitive, as we know. We get that iconic theme song. Here I am in your life. You're in mine. Yes, we've got the sweet life. Most all the time. You and me got the world to see, so come on down. Okay, this cast.
Great cast.
Iconic. You've got obviously Dylan Cole Sprouse.
Yes.
You've got Ashley Tisdale. Brenda Song.
Yes.
I mean, these are legends, mama. Legends. This is like All Stars, All Winners.
Yeah.
But of Disney Channel.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I, for one...
We got Phil Lewis playing Mr. Mosby.
Love
Kim
Mr.
Rhodes
Mosby.
as
Carrie.
Carrie.
The mother.
Yeah.
In the lobby, Zack is pranking Esteban with the fart machine.
Yeah. In front of customers.
In front of the fucking customers.
Hotel guests. Like, come on.
Embarrassing him in front of the guests. And in front of...
Mr.
Mosby.
His boss.
We always joked. Okay, my friend Alexis, who I don't even know if she listens to this. Shout out Alexis if you're listening. But her and I would always say in college that she was Mr. Mosby and I was Carrie.
Why?
It just made sense to us.
Okay.
And then London Tipton, the icon, they're at the candy counter and she's bringing up the haunted hotel room. Room 613. Maddie doesn't believe her, but London insists that she's seen it. She's like, it's so scary that I even left my purse in there with my $1,000 allowance.
Yeah.
So they all go up to get the money. And they see Miss Muriel, the icon maid, diva with the red hair, who talks like this.
And they run into her car and she's like, be careful, I got 3 alarm clocks and a DVD player in here.
You don't want that to go off. She tells them that the ghost's name is Irene. And she was beautiful and rich. And London's like, oh, like me, but with probably not so much money. Or as pretty. And dead. In 1942, Irene and her husband checked into the Tipton on their honeymoon night. And then he went off to war. He met some Italian babe and opened up a pizza parlor with her. Irene was so angry, she threw her hairbrush at the mirror, which shattered, and a shard flew out and killed her dead.
Damn.
Just then, Arwen shows up, the janitor, who's always kooky. He's wearing a welding mask, and it scares them. And Cody keeps jumping up into Maddie's arms.
Yeah, it's very funny.
Very Scooby-Doo.
Yes.
And they ask if he's ever seen the ghost in 613. He goes, no, but I have seen something worse. Muriel in a hairnet. Now, if you excuse me, I have something even scarier to deal with. The toilet in 620. And they're all like, ugh.
Yeah.
They approach the room, and the door swings open by itself. Inside, everything's like covered with like drapes, and it's all spooky. It's dark. And there's the shattered mirror and a painting of Irene.
Why would there be a painting
for reasons? Hotel room that she checked in on her honeymoon night, and they just had a painting made of her.
Oh, that's so nice. Wow, what a coincidence.
They just paint their guests. Okay. And they keep hearing this like mysterious noise, and they're like, do you hear that? And then Zack goes, it's just Cody's teeth chattering. We're like, London finds her purse, but the money's gone. And she's like, that ghost is so dead. Which, like, yeah.
She did it.
It is. Mosby shows up and jump scares them. It's a lot of jump scares this episode. And he tells them about his encounter with the ghost back in the 70s when he was just a bellhop. And he had a groovy afro.
Yeah.
And he was, like, disco dancing down the hallway.
Yeah.
I thought that was camp. He went into the room, and he first smelled the smell of pizza lingering. And then he heard the ghost scream, because he goes, pizza? I could dig a slice. Nice. And the ghost says, pizza, that reminds me of my husband. And the hairbrush flies out and shatters into the mirror. And it causes Mosby to, like, run and trip and fall. And he goes, but my voluminous fro saved me from a concussion.
But I hurt my ankle, and I was never able to boogie, oogie, oogie again. Damn. And so Zack takes this opportunity to scare Cody again. Once again, being a prankster. So the twins make this bet for $5, by the way. Hell yeah.
Like, damn. To spend the night in 613, and they even get Carrie's permission as long as Ashley Tisdale, I can't remember her character's name.
Yeah.
And Brenda Song stay with them.
Yeah.
And she says, there's no such thing as ghosts, and if there were, my mother-in-law would still be haunting me. And the gang meets up outside of 613, and London is making Esteban haul.
Carrie, this huge trunk. And Maddie was like, I thought you said you were packing light. She's like, this is my overnight bag.
Yeah. It's like this huge, it's got like clothes spilling out of it too. They go inside, and Arwen jump scares them again. And he's got like a big
alien tracker device that he made.
Yeah. He has this like weird ghost hunting device that goes off the charts when he plugs it in. And then it stops right on the painting of the ghost. And her face starts moving.
This is creepy effect.
Now, when I was a kid,
this is scary.
This shit kind of scared me.
This episode was kind of spooky.
Kind of spook, right? Especially what happens here in a minute. So,
because she literally goes,
she serves cunt to the left, and then she resumes serving cunt to the center.
Yeah.
And Arwen starts running away screaming for his mommy. And Esteban suggests that the rest of them stay and perform a seance to help the ghosts cross over to a better place. And Maddie goes, you mean the St. Mark's Hotel where they pay overtime? And
Esteban's like, this is not a joking matter. She's like, you haven't seen my paycheck.
Ash Tisdale, great icon. Sharpay. I mean, come on now. What can you say? How can you
the Meryl Streep of Disney Channel.
The Meryl Streep of Disney Channel. She's also the Britney Spears of Disney Channel because her music videos were cunty.
Girl,
he said, she said,
on Disney Channel.
I know. He said, she said. I mean, come on now. How can you not say cunt? So they begin the seance, and they're sitting at that table, and the candle just lights itself. And Esteban's like, everyone join hands. And they all clasp their own hands together. And he goes, I meant with each other. Esteban calls on the spirit. And even though Maddie is skeptical this whole time, she keeps being like, whatever, spirit schmear it. Like, she doesn't believe. All of a sudden, her
Esteban's like, oh, those who do not believe will be punished. And she's like, oh, okay. And then her chair gets pulled back and pushed back in.
Her chair starts moving around and freaking her out.
Okay, I'm scared.
Maybe I am scared. Esteban begins to channel this spirit, which, first of all, we haven't really talked about Esteban, but he's hot as fuck. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, I don't think I remember, because, obviously I was a kid watching this.
Yeah.
But
Damn.
Esteban could get it nowadays.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's
Do you remember
gay.
the pool boy? The lifeguard?
No.
On this show?
I'll have to look him up. Wait, hold on. Let me look him up really quick.
Oh, because he's shirtless a lot.
Lifeguard Zack and Cody. Was his name Lance?
Lance.
Oh, he was dreamy.
He was stupid. He was a bimbo.
He looked stupid.
He was a himbo.
You can tell just in this photo.
You should look at the shirtless pics of him on the show.
Head empty, no thoughts from the one picture I saw. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Oh,
yeah. Yeah. He was wet.
I don't know how I don't remember him.
Yeah, girl.
Must not have seen his episodes, I guess.
One of my first crushes.
Esteban begins to channel the spirit, and the table begins to levitate. And then he starts going, and they're like, what's going on? He's like, I'm being put on hold. The spirit comes through him, so he's like lip syncing to her voice.
Yeah.
And
I hate pizza. She's always doing that.
she's always like, ugh.
No, I don't like talking about stuff.
And she's like, I hate pizza. And Maddie confronts the ghost, and she goes, I love pizza. What are you going to do about it? And then Esteban does a really creepy smile, actually kind of scary for a Disney show. And then Maddie is pulled back in her chair and
Into the
vanishes, which spooked me when I was a kid.
It's like, there she goes.
Yeah, like the concept of somebody just like vanishing and like never coming back as a child.
Terrifying.
That was pretty fucking scary. Cody tries to reason with the ghost, and he's like, I hate pizza too. But then his blanket gets snatched because he said the word pizza, and he follows it and he vanishes in the darkness. And then this is my favorite line. London brings up the missing $1,000 from her purse. And then she gets snatched up. But while she's vanishing, she goes, I'll take a check. I mean, Brenda's song.
Yeah.
I was actually playing this game called The Quarry
She's in
a couple weeks ago. She's in it.
Yeah.
And she's so funny in it. It was a great horror game, by the way. If anyone is interested in that kind of stuff, I would definitely recommend The Quarry. It was fun. So then Esteban vanishes, and Zack is left alone in the room, terrified, and the painting comes alive, and she goes, got your nose, which was funny. And then a spooky skeleton comes out of the closet.
Skellington.
That's how I say it. I've always said skeleton. I don't know why, but it's just something
And you
I say.
talk about how I say milk.
Yeah, how you say what?
Milk.
How you say milk? What do you write with in kindergarten? What do you draw with?
Markers.
No.
Anyways, Zack is
Stevie says
terrified by this
crayons, guys.
skeleton.
Stevie
who's
calls
like,
crayons
Crayons.
crayons.
Did somebody order room service? I've got your ribs. And then the skeleton's head falls off.
And he's like, don't lose your head about it. Ooh.
Zack runs out into the hallway and is attacked by a tarantula.
A tarantula. But then,
He runs back into the room.
and then all of the sheet ghosts come out and start cornering him.
Yeah.
And then the lights come on.
It was Cody and the gang.
It was the gang the whole time. They were pranking Zack to get back at him for pranking everybody else.
Yeah.
And Esteban was like, that fart joke was really not funny. And a lot of those were not mine. Which was funny.
So which ones were?
I would say he let a couple loose. So.
Cody makes fun of Zack for being scared, which pisses Zack off. So Zack starts chasing Cody.
And then Carrie and Mosby come around the corner.
She said, I was in the middle of my third encore.
I'm glad you noted that too. Because I was like, okay, damn, diva. I just know Carrie has Mariah level range.
Oh, yeah.
I know Carrie's doing whistle notes down in that cabaret bar or whatever it is downstairs.
And they don't pay her enough.
No, she's a struggling artist and
a single mom who works
who loves her kids and never stops.
In the heart of a fighter.
I'm a survivor. Carrie and Reba have so much in common.
They literally, it's the same show.
There was a noise complaint from a guest, but the guest is like, when she learns about the ghost, she's like, oh, there's a ghost? And most people's like, no. And she's like, well, a lot of people would pay extra money to stay in a haunted hotel. And he goes, oh, there's ghosts everywhere.
Not in the hallway. the kids thought you meant the hallway.
The hallway. In the room, there's a million ghosts in the room. He's like all gung-ho on the ghosts. And Carrie makes Cody apologize to Zack.
But she's also like, so impressed.
Like
oh
over her shoulder, she's like, good job.
Good job. You scared him? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Zack's like, I didn't do anything to Cody. Cody scared me. He did? I mean, you did?
Oh, Cody. And then the twins have to go back to get Cody's blanket that was left in the room. And Irene appears.
And she's like, is this what you were looking for?
They're like, thanks. She's like, don't mention it. She turns and then walks through the wall. And so the boys scream and run out.
Yeah.
The end. Yeah. Great episode. Cue the credits music.
I forgot how Disney Channel shows just ended. That's it? Oh, okay. It's like, cool.
They need to play the iconic theme music.
Yeah, they're like, we gotta get the people interested again.
It was so good. Okay. That was it. That's our double feature on Disney Channel shows.
Yeah.
I had fun.
This was a good one.
TV Tears was a really fun week.
This
was
a
very
lot
refreshing.
of fun. Fun month.
Yes. Stevie, I have a question for you. What are we doing in the month of March?
Oh, we decided to celebrate a critically, I don't know if I want to say acclaimed author, but a critically looked at author, or her books that were adapted into a film series. And so I thought it would be time to pay homage to our Mormon queen, Stephanie Meyer.
Stephanie Meyer.
And have Stephanie Meyer March. So we will be covering all of the Twilight films.
We're doing a Twilight month, y'all. Get fucking ready. This is what we've been hinting at for a while now, about how we're going to be doing a lot of vampire heavy media in the month of March.
I've seen everyone but the third one. Eclipse? I've never seen Eclipse.
I read all the books. I've seen every movie.
I knew a girl who borrowed the hardback copy, and she had to like switch the like book sleeve because her mom wouldn't let her read Twilight.
I forget, you went to a Catholic private school.
There were some kooks.
We had different life experiences.
There were some kooks
in middle school. But yeah, I'm really excited. Look forward to that. And then I think in April, we'll get back to our roots of covering some real horror movies. We will give it to you. So get fucking ready. Thank you so much for joining us today on Let's Scream. Hope you had fun with us at Raven's house. At the Chill Grill. Sorry, the Chill Grill.
And the Tipton.
At the Tipton. Please remember to follow the pod, like the pod, and leave a glowing review of the pod, of course. It really helps with the algorithm. You can follow us Let's Scream Pod on all the socials. You can also send us movie requests for future episodes. You can follow me at Parker_Will_C on Instagram.
And you can follow me at Stevie Nash 95 on Instagram.
And until next time, this has been
Let's Scream.
Let's Scream.
Bye.
Bye.